Welcome back everyone to another fantasy hair tutorial. There's a new show out on Sky TV and now Amazon Prime called Britannia, a dramatization of when ancient Rome first came to conquer Britain. I liked the show so much I binged it in one go on a long airplane trip, so I wanted to make a video on just a couple of the styles you can find in this TV series. The first, worn by Amena, is a lovely and soft braided half updo with curly tendrils of hair. In contrast, this warrior look worn by Hella is fierce and edgy. Let's try them both out. For the beginning of Amena's style, make sure your hair is nicely combed out. Then part your hair down the center of your head. Now draw a vertical part, starting in the center at the top of your head, halfway back from your forehead, and ending behind your ears. Separate off the hair in front of this part. Draw a second part just like this on the other side of your head as well, and separate the hair in front of that part. Tie all the rest of your hair away into a ponytail for now. With one of the side sections of hair, split off a little bit of hair right next to your top part. Separate this bit into two halves. We're now going to French fishtail this hair down the side of the head. That means we split a little bit of hair off the outer side of one half, add in a small amount of free hanging hair, and then join all that to the inside of the other half of the braid. Then split off a little bit of hair from the outer side of the second half, add in a small amount of free hanging hair, and then join that to the inside of the first half of the braid. Keep repeating these steps down the side of your head to form the French fishtail. Make sure to leave a bit of free hanging hair around your face though, because Amena has some face framing tendrils that are left out of her updo. When you reach your ear and there's no more hair below the braid to add in, hold the braid here for now and gently tug on tiny bits of the French braided part to fluff out the braid. Be really gentle doing this. You just want a fluffier braid and not a completely destroyed one. Then finish the fishtail normally to the ends of the hair. Tie off these ends with a small hair elastic to secure the braid. Make another French fishtail now with the second side section of hair on the other side of your head. If fishtail braiding or French fishtail braiding is sort of unfamiliar to you and you're having trouble with this, I have a more in-depth video on the technique that you can check out in order to prep yourself for doing Amena's style. Just click the link above for that video. When both those braids are all finished, let down the rest of your hair again. Gather up the rest of the hair from the top of your head and clip or pin it into a quick bun on the top of the head to keep it out of the way for the next step. Below this bun, make a horizontal French braid running from one side of the back of your head to the other. Keep this section fairly skinny. When you reach the other side of your head, stop adding in new hair and finish the braid normally to the ends, tying the braid secure with a small elastic. Now you can let down the hair you clipped up before. Divide this hair into thirds and rope braid each of these thirds. Go all the way to the ends of the hair and tie off with a small hair elastic each. Again, if you need more detailed instructions for any of these types of braids in this video, just follow the links embedded in the video to tutorials that teach you more about them. When those 3 rope braids are done, we can finally start constructing the updo. Pick up one at a time and, starting from the end of the braid, coil it around a couple fingers. Go all the way up to the root of the braid at your scalp, and then pin this coiled up bun to your head with a couple bobby pins. Be careful that the ends of the braid don't pop out of the center, or that the bun doesn't collapse while you're pinning it in place. To do this, make sure you're hooking at least some of the ends of the braids into some of the bobby pins while you're pinning this bun in place. Coil up the next rope braid and pin the resulting bun directly next to the first. Coil up the third and final rope braid and pin it nestled next to the first 2 buns. Next, wrap each of the fishtail braids around the back of these buns. If your hair is long enough, the lengths of the fishtail braids can wrap around the front of the bun as well. Use bobby pins to secure these braids in place. Make an effort to hide the ends of the braids underneath the thicker parts. If it helps to hide the ends, you can remove the small elastics at this point as well. Finally, pick up the French braid from the back of your head. Wrap it around in front of the bun nest and then around behind. Use bobby pins to secure in place and hide the end of the braid. If you don't already have wavy or curly hair, the final step is to add that nice texture. Curl the rest of your free hanging hair, including the wispy bits left around your face. At the end, use your fingers to comb through all the curls and make them look more soft and natural. With that, you're finished with Amena's half updo style. Now let's take a hard left turn in style and try out Hella's close braided look. On top of your head, section off the hair between your pupils. Meaning if you draw 2 lines vertically upwards from your pupils, gather up all the hair on top of your head in between these lines. Also collect up some hair at the upper back of your head in a downward arrow shape. Then twist all of this hair into a quick bun on top of your head and clip there for now to keep it out of the way. Section off thin bits of hair around your face now, and clip them below your chin to keep them out of the way as well. Then draw a horizontal part on the side of your head, dividing the hair here into 2 halves. Clip up the first half for now. In the lower half, pick up a very small amount of hair near your face and split into 3 strands. Start Dutch braiding horizontally backwards towards the back of your head. Add in very small amounts of hair to each strand at a time to keep the braid looking tight and detailed. When you reach past your ear, quit adding in new hair and braid the hair normally about halfway down the length of the hair, or 2/3 of your hair is on the shorter side. Then either tie off the braid with a small elastic or let it hang free if your hair is pretty long. Small braids like this can hold themselves together pretty well. Let down the top half of side hair and also Dutch braid horizontally backwards. Make this Dutch braid stretch back a little bit further than the first one, but then also stop adding in new hair and braid normally about halfway down the length of the hair. Now repeat on the other side of your head. Draw a horizontal part to create 2 halves of hair, clip up the top half, and Dutch braid the lower half, finishing the braid only halfway down the length of your hair. Then Dutch braid the top half as well. You can release the clip underneath your chin now, since this hair is no longer in any danger of being picked up. At the back of your head, make a vertical part to split the hair into 2 halves. At the top of one half, start French braiding the hair. At about half the distance to your neck, stop adding in new hair and finish the braid normally, again only halfway to 2/3 down the length of the hair. Make another French braid with the top half of the other section of re-hanging hair behind your head. For the final braid, release the bun on top of your head. We want the hair up here to be voluminous and poofy, so you can spray smaller sections of this with a texture spray or hairspray and then tease it all pretty well. To tease or back comb the hair, use a small brush or a fine tooth comb, push into a section of the hair a few inches above the scalp, and then drag the comb down to the scalp. Do this several times per section of hair to really tease it up. Now with all that hair teased, make a French braid that starts at your forehead and runs over the top and down the back of your head. The teasing can make it more difficult to separate off new hair to add into the French braid, so proceed slowly and carefully so as not to rip your hair. When you've added in all the hair that was in that top bun, braid normally until you're, again, halfway down the length of your hair. Then tie off the braid with a small elastic to secure it. And that is how you get Hella's warrior braid look. If you enjoyed this Britannia hair tutorial, check out my Instagram page, Silvousplaits_hairstyling, where you can see other fantasy looks and stay updated on new tutorials when they get posted. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.